Chapter 18, Part 2. In this section, we're just going to look at the verb tenir, which is a pretty tricky one. Besides having weird conjugations, it's always translated like, or conjugated like venir, which is very irregular. It generally means to hold or to take. That's its physical, literal meaning, but it has lots of figurative meanings. And tenir a is the most common one. That means to value, to insist on, to depend on. You can kind of see how they all have to do with holding on to something or valuing, something like that. Je tiens à mon peuple. I value my people. Je tiens à lui dire tout dès son arrivée. I insist on saying to him everything as soon as his arrival. So what does that mean? I insist on telling everything to him as soon as he arrives. So that's a tenir a, which has these holding on to ideas. Then we also have the expression tenir compte or tenir que, which means to take into account or consideration something. Je tiens compte de la difficulté du texte. I take into consideration the difficulty of the text. So we need tenir compte is going to be I take into account or I take into consideration the difficulty of the text, or I could put a complete clause there. I take into account that your electricity went out last night, something like that. We could have a complete clause there for tenir compte que. Now, in the book, we've got a number of other tenir expressions. I would say they're less common. You don't need to make a flashcard for them and memorize them. Just use the dictionary and know how to find them when you need them. Here are some sentences for you to translate. When you've written down your answers, check them with the next slide.